Tear gas shells being lobbed, bullets are flying, people running for their lives, ducking for cover, and armed personnel taking positions to fire. You would have confused it with border tension between two neighboring countries. Border conflict, it was not between India and some other country, but between the police force of two northeastern states of India, Assam and Mizoram. The scene is what happened around a stretch of National Highway 306 between the towns of Lailapur in Assam and Varante in Mizoram. We try to recollect what happened, what is the reason between the clash which led to the death of 7 police personnel from Assam and injuring 70 others. Hi, this is Bikash Singh from Economic Times. Let's get into what happened on that fateful day. Lailapur and Varante, they are the border areas of these two states. There has been a regular standoff since last October, and on that day, on Monday, there is a border outpost which Assam says that is with them, and they are standing there, and they are protecting there to protect their territories. And Mizoram side alleged that a contingent of 200 policemen burst into Varante. Varante is the Mizoram side of the border, and they started clash, and they had a confrontation in the auto stand, and even a Mizo couple who was on way to Mizoram, their car was smashed, and they were verbally abused. So this is the whole thing that started the trigger of the fight, and there was crossfiring in which 7 policemen died and around 70 persons were injured.
It is unfortunate to say that around 200 Assam Armed Police, led by IGP Assam, accompanied by DC Kachar SP and DFO Kachar, came to Vairengte auto rickshaw stand at around 11:30 a.m. today, 26 July 2021. They forcibly crossed the duty post manned by CRPF personnel stationed there and overrun a duty post manned by one section of Mizoram police personnel. The Assam police also damaged several vehicles that were traveling along the national highway between Vairengte and Lailapur. Upon learning the arson committed by the Assam police, residents of Vairengte town, Kolosip district, proceeded to the site to inquire. These unarmed civilians were assaulted by Assam police by lathi charging them and firing tear gas, thereby causing injury to several civilians. SP Kolosip and an executive magistrate went to meet them and tried to resolve the issue. However, Assam side were adamant and unwilling to discuss the issue. The confrontation continued, and a volley of tear gas canisters and grenades were launched at Mizoram police, followed by firing from Assam side at around 4:50 p.m. Mizoram police responded spontaneously by firing back at Assam police, in spite of the fact that SP Kolosip district was still inside CRPF duty camp negotiating with the Assam police authorities.
Whereas Assam's version is they were protecting their outpost there, and there was a meeting between the SP and the Varante district administration, and around 4:30 a huge person burst in the Assam side. They started shooting. Light machine guns were used. Sophisticated weapons were used to target the Assam police personnel. Even Assam administration is saying, had they attempted, since they did not wanted any bloodshed, they did not attempt to fire upon, but they have taken maximum restraint. Otherwise, the casualties would have been huge. Mizoram was carved out of Assam, and there is the perception is basically on the border. Uh, Mizoram side often claims that the ancestral boundary, whereas Assam insists on what they say is a constitutional boundary.
Yes, it is a fact that our state has a border dispute with our neighbor Assam. This border dispute with Assam has a very long story dating back to the pre-British period. Our boundary with Assam was redemarcated by Assam in 1933, and this boundary was imposed on us as the boundary of the Mizo District Council when it was formed in 1952, and then for the boundary of the Union Territory in 1971 by the Northeastern Areas Reorganization Act of 1971. We were never consulted when our boundary line was officially drawn on paper. Till today, no ground demarcation has yet been done. The Assam government acted as if the Mizos did not exist at all, while drawing all these boundary paperworks. Even Advarite town was a culmination of this long-standing border dispute with Assam.
For maximum border problems of Northeast, this has been the contention of the parties about the notional boundary and the what they say is a legal boundary. This situation is unprecedented because you will never see the two forces firing at each other, resulting in the casualty of their own police force. This is not someone whom you are fighting outside the enemy or the terrorist. It was the same police force of the same country fighting against each other, and this is flaring up the what you say the emotions on the both sides. See, Mizoram is being ruled by the Mizo National Front, which is a part of NDA, or what we say is NEDA. NEDA is Northeast Democratic Alliance. It is a part of non-Congress platform of parties in Northeast. So across Northeast there is a NEDA government. So it was always expected that since it's a common government, like a government which belongs to both the parties, there will be an amicable solution to it. But if you see, even in a couple of meetings, Union Home Minister Amit Shah has categorically said, since NEDA will now focus on solving the interstate border disputes, dealing with the illegal drug menace of Northeast, and he has always saying that we want to solve this before the country celebrates its 75 years of independence. That being a common government in the two sides, there has to be the people expected a greater understanding and greater sense of urgency in solving this what we say the colonial hangover. Most of the northeastern states are caught in border dispute. Assam has border dispute with Meghalaya, Assam has border dispute with Nagaland, Assam has border dispute with Mizoram. But on the contrary, Mizoram has border dispute with Tripura, and now the Home Ministry has very short while they will meet. They will make the two chief ministers sit together and talk. So this border issue has for long resulted in blockade, economic blockade, and the development process of the region has been hard hit. But now a sense is prevailing. A lot of people are saying this is not the way to deal it. This is not the way to handle the situation. And the only way forward is the seven sisters and one brothers has to live together, and it is the negotiation has to take place. The intensive talk has to take place. Already the Meghalaya Chief Minister and Assam Chief Minister had one round of discussion. They are again going to meet on August 6th for second round of talks. Already Arunachal Pradesh has declared that they will sit with Assam, and they are favoring out of court settlement. Assam and Nagaland's dispute is in Supreme Court. So there the mechanism, the resolving mechanism has to be the northeastern states itself. No one from outside will come and solve it for the respective governments here.